It was once said by Shakespeare, "Come not between the dragon and his wrath." Well, I honestly wish Dirk the Daring would have followed that advice. Then maybe he wouldn't have had to go through all the hardships of Dragon's Lair 3D, Return to the Lair. Dragon's Lair 3D was developed by Dragonstone Software and released by Ubisoft in 2002. It is a remake of the original Dragon's Lair, but instead of being a quick-time event-heavy game like the original, it's an action-adventure game. The game has the same plot as the original Dragon's Lair. Save Princess Daphne, the princess with the most revealing outfit not in an M-rated game, from the castle of the evil wizard Mordok and Singe the Dragon. First, let's move on to some positives. The game looks fantastic, especially for the time it was released, using cel-shaded graphics to replicate the look of the original game perfectly in 3D. They also replicated the original game great. Most, if not all, of the original levels from the original game are here, and what's more, they added to it, which is what you want to do if you want to give people incentive to buy your game. I have to commend the developers for that. If I were to judge the game on its visuals alone, it would score very highly with me. However, every video game also needs good gameplay, and that's where this game falls apart in my eyes. Now, I'm not talking about the idea behind the game, turning the original Dragon's Lair into more of a game than it originally was, instead of just being a pretty much point-and-click game, now having it be a regular sword adventure game, more similar to The Legend of Zelda. That could work fine. I'm talking about the controls. Here are the standard controls for an action game on the GameCube. A for jump, B for attack, Y for a special or stronger attack, and X to grab things. Dragon's Lair 3D decides to be a bit different. Instead of your typical control scheme of the A button jumping, it's Y. B targets enemies, A attacks, and X blocks. Another problem I have with the game are its physics, or more specifically, how you jump. Unless you jump a very certain way, you will only jump straight up. Fine for going up ledges, but under most circumstances you're jumping from platform to platform, or from rope to rope, which makes it hard to make the exact jump, and you will fall and die. A lot. There are also a lot of instances where something can just kill you right out of nowhere. That works for the original Dragon's Lair because it's nothing more than move in the direction it wants you to go. But for a game like this, you need more of a warning, a way to avoid it without getting yourself killed. Finally, the sword combat isn't very good at all. With most enemies, you won't be able to hit them without getting hit yourself if you're just using your sword. And a few minor things. 1. Nice grammatical error there, guys. And I have to ask, why is the game called Return to the Lair when it's a remake and not a sequel? If the game would shorten itself a little bit, give you the option to change the controls to how you'd like, gave you a way to avoid the instant death surprises, and improve the combat just a little bit, I would have given it a higher score. But as it is, it stands at a 4 out of 10.
Hey, you shut up. I like that game.
Oh yeah, buddy? Well, for me, Dragon's Lair 3D was quite the drag on me.